Well, Harvard University is now crying foul after the Trump administration revoked their ability to enroll international students. Meanwhile, we're now learning more as to why Vice President Harris lost the race for the presidency. Joining us to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Adam Mockler, Gen Z expert and political strategist, joining us right here on the Live Zone, as does Janae. Stick around for this one. I think you're going to like this. Adam, always good to see you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back on. It's always a pleasure.
All right, let's jump into one of the big stories. Of course, you just heard Janae touch on this. That happens to be the bill that now heads to the Senate. House Republicans' decision to cut nearly $800 billion from Medicaid as part of that giant bill is, well, it's a political risk, a number of folks are stating, given the health program's popularity. The ultimate question, will this pass in the Senate, Adam?
In its current form, it seems unlikely to pass, mainly due to a lot of deficit reasons. This entire bill is antithetical to Trump's platform of being a quote-unquote deficit hawk, but I mean, it lines up with how he spent during his first term. I think the main takeaway is that this is a massive redistribution of wealth. As you guys were saying, it cuts Medicaid for a bunch of Americans, $800 billion worth, and that money is then redistributed to some of the richest of the rich people in our society. It then extends Trump's tax cuts from his first term. It makes it easier for Elon Musk and other people to operate their businesses. Let me point out, over 40 different regulatory investigations into Elon Musk have been paused over the past 3 months into his companies. So while people's Medicaid is being stripped away, Elon Musk, his business is disproportionately benefiting from the Trump administration. So you guys are spot on by saying this hurts working class people.
Yeah. We also know that early on, President Trump stated to a number of top Republicans, do not, and I repeat, do not touch Medicaid. Apparently, that may no longer be the case if it goes their way. Hey, let's move on to one of the other big stories, and this happens to surround Harvard University. We know that the Trump administration's decision to revoke Harvard's ability to enroll international students raises significant questions about the impact on the school community and its academic research. Now, earlier today, we can tell you, well, the university filed a federal lawsuit in response to the government's move to revoke the school's ability. What are you thinking about all of this, Adam?
This fits into a very scary, broader pattern of the Trump administration using the executive branch to target law firms, to target the media, to target universities, even judges, particular judges. But as far as this case goes, what this does is it cripples Harvard's ability to teach anything. 27% of Harvard students are international, and the international students pay full tuition, which therefore subsidizes tuition for domestic students and makes it harder for our country to be competitive on the global stage. I mean, think about this. These are doctors. These are the brightest people coming to our country. It's called brain drain. We drain the brain from other countries, bring it here for research, for development, to help further our medicine. And Trump is hurting that. It's like, it's not going to manifest tomorrow or in your day-to-day life, but long term, not having smart people coming to the United States hurts. So Trump, to wrap this all up, is trying to place pressure in any way he can.
Yeah, we saw yesterday a number of students set to graduate next week questioning, will it happen? Will I be able to walk? Yes, they actually will be able to graduate, but just for the pomp and circumstance, if you will that actually get underway? Yet again, we'll have to wait and see. Hey, Adam, happen to be a fan of iPhone, sir? Do you like them?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got a new one.
Oh, well, good for you. I'm an Android type of guy, so perhaps this one doesn't affect me as much. However, we now know that the Trump administration is threatening Apple with a 25% tariff if it doesn't build iPhones in America. The question to you, sir, is will that happen or won't it happen?
Are you one of those people that has the green text? If I text you, it's going to be green.
Adam, you know me oh so well. I guess we're no longer friends.
But on a more serious note, I don't know if it'll happen. Trump has threatened a lot of tariff-related things, but even the threat creates a new layer of unpredictability that can hurt the U.S. economy. What kind of businesses will want to invest capital in the United States or reshore manufacturing and bring it here if they don't even know what tariffs will look like 1 week down the road, nevertheless 4 years or 10 years down the road? If you're going to build a manufacturing plant in the U.S., you better know you're going to get an ROI, or return on investment, over the next few decades. So the fact that Trump keeps flipping and reversing his tariff policy undermines his own negotiation. It undermines the United States. And again, it's one of those things where it won't manifest tomorrow. I mean, prices will raise over time, but you better bet the alienation of allies and companies long term will hurt the U.S.
Yeah, gosh, I got to tell you, it makes me yet again not want to purchase an iPhone. I think I'm going to stick with Android for now, Adam. Hey, let's talk about this. In this case, I'm making reference to a comprehensive new data analysis into why Vice President Kamala Harris, the former vice president that is, lost in 2024. According to this newly released study, men, especially men of color, shifted towards Republicans. Women did not rally for Harris, and Latina women moved more right. Younger voters, we're talking about Gen Zers, well, especially voters of color, shifted right as well. Is there trouble in paradise for the Democratic Party, Adam?
I mean, yeah, obviously. Like, we're just very not well liked right now. And despite Trump's popularity not being too high, the Democratic Party still is getting increasingly unpopular. And it's for a number of reasons. We could talk a lot about policy. We could talk about the social media environment. Just to simplify it, in the most simplest sense, I think the Democratic Party is too risk averse, meaning we don't go into these places and we're not communicating where we need to be, while also being more finger waggy. So if you're like a teenage dude, you're not seeing cool Democrats. But when you see Democrats, they're wagging their finger in your face not to do this or not to do that. So I think the Democratic Party, we don't need to be more like Republicans. I'm not saying that, but I think we just need to have a little bit more grace broadly. And I think that within the social media environment, Republicans have created this very comprehensive pipeline. Imagine you're a young dude and you just want to watch workout videos. You like working out. Inevitably, you get sucked into RFK Jr. videos. Okay, so you need dating advice. I look up dating advice. Inevitably, I get sucked into Andrew Tate. There's this cultural pipeline that Republicans have created where it's just cooler to be sucked down these pipelines. And again, we need to mirror that by being cool, not being finger waggy, having a little bit of grace, while also sticking up for our values of equality and treating people fairly.
All right, Adam, we'll leave the dating advice to you and whomever else. I'm going to stray away from that one. That's why they hired me to do this. We'll end with this,
Because your
Adam.
texts are always green. That's why girls aren't hitting you up.
We'll end with how Gen Zers are viewing the economy under President Trump. Now, younger Americans are sharply critical of the president's handling of inflation, but are more optimistic about their personal finances than older generations. Will we continue to see that?
We've seen this diversion for a while now, where people are actually optimistic about their personal finances while thinking the broader economy is in the dumpster. We've seen this under Biden, where after him and Jerome Powell stuck the soft landing for all the problems there were, they stuck the soft landing with a steady hand. People's personal finances recovered largely, but they saw the economy as bad. I think as Trump continues this unpredictable economic policy of placing tariffs, then removing tariffs and replacing them again, we'll see people getting sick of their 401ks zigzagging. We'll see people get sick of the price increases. Small businesses don't even know what the environment's going to look like a week from now. So as this continues to happen, I think people will become increasingly disillusioned with the admin.
All right, Adam Mockler joining us right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Adam, always good to see you, sir. Make it a great weekend.
Always a pleasure. You as well.